Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a rut, doing everything you can to move forward, but it just never seems enough? Maybe you've tried everything. The perfect strategy, those motivational quotes, even making drastic changes in your life, but there's still something missing. That spark, that connection that makes you stand out. Let me tell you the story of two people who were searching for something more, something real. There's Sarah, a young professional who was always surrounded by people, yet somehow felt completely alone. She would attend social events, work gatherings, and even date occasionally, but none of it ever felt meaningful. She wanted someone who truly saw her for who she was, not just for what she could offer in a conversation or as an acquaintance. Then there's Michael, a quiet, introspective guy who seemed to have it all together. He had a great job, a good circle of friends, and an exciting future ahead. Yet, despite everything going perfectly, he felt invisible. He was often overlooked, even when he tried to make deeper connections. He felt like he was putting in all the effort but just wasn't getting through to anyone. One day, they both found themselves at a local cafe at the same time. Sarah was quietly observing people around her, thinking about how to finally break the cycle of shallow interactions. Michael sat across the room, lost in thought, realizing how disconnected he felt from everyone, even when they smiled and waved at him. That day, fate stepped in. They had a brief conversation, and in that instant, they realized they both shared the same frustration, wanting real connections. But neither of them had figured out how to bridge the gap. That is, until they both stumbled upon a timeless philosophy, Stoicism. It wasn't about changing who they were or pretending to be someone else. It was about embracing authenticity, patience, and true understanding. This philosophy helped them discover the power of connection through simplicity and deep self-awareness. So, what changed? How did Sarah and Michael start forming those real connections they craved? In today's video, I'll show you exactly how the wisdom of Stoicism helped them, and how it can help you too. Let's dive into 9 powerful strategies that will transform the way you approach relationships and love. 1. Focus on being, not impressing. We live in a society that often rewards performance and appearances, where people constantly feel the need to impress others. Yet, when it comes to building meaningful connections, trying too hard to win someone over can backfire. Instead of focusing on how to make others like you, focus on simply being. Be present. Be real. Be someone who enjoys life and values themselves, with or without someone else's validation. The Stoic philosophy aligns perfectly with this approach. As Epictetus once said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Trying to impress others is a desperate attempt to control their perception of you, but in reality, how others view you is not yours to control. What is within your control is your attitude, your mindset, and your authenticity. Imagine walking into a room where someone is trying too hard. It's obvious, isn't it? Now picture someone who is calm, centered, and at peace with who they are. That person naturally draws others in. Why? Because confidence doesn't shout, it whispers. When you embrace who you are, flaws and all, people are drawn to your presence, not to a performance. So, focus on being the best version of you. Work on what you love. Take care of yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally. Pursue your passions and live fully. When you are content with who you are and what you bring to the table, you stop needing to impress. And ironically, that's when people are most impressed by you. 2. Cultivate emotional balance. One of the most attractive qualities a person can have is emotional stability. Think about it. When you're with someone who remains calm in chaos, responds rather than reacts, and handles challenges with grace, doesn't it inspire trust and admiration? The Stoics viewed emotional balance as a virtue to cultivate for a peaceful life. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." True strength lies in mastering your emotions, not letting your emotions master you. In practical terms, emotional balance means not being easily shaken by external circumstances. Did someone say something that upset you? Instead of reacting immediately, Pause, breathe, and ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Can I control the situation, or just my response? Most of the time, you'll realize that keeping your peace is more valuable than engaging in unnecessary drama. For example, if someone cancels plans or things don't go your way, your ability to respond calmly, without frustration or desperation, speaks volumes about your character. It shows maturity, confidence, and self-respect. And these qualities are incredibly attractive. To cultivate this balance, practice mindfulness and self-awareness. Meditate, journal your thoughts, and challenge negative emotions before they take over. When you master yourself emotionally, you become someone others trust to be their calm in the storm, a rock that is steady, reliable, and inspiring. 3. Work on yourself. Growth is magnetic. There's something undeniably attractive about someone who is constantly growing. Someone who strives to be better, to learn, and to evolve. Why? Because growth shows ambition, self-respect, and purpose. It signals to others that you are someone who won't settle for mediocrity and that your life has direction. The Stoic principle behind this strategy is simple. Focus on what you can control. You may not be able to control whether someone likes you, but you can control your actions, your habits, and your mindset. And when you focus on improving yourself, you naturally become someone others want to be around. Consider this. Do you admire someone who spends their time complaining about life? Or do you admire someone who is constantly working to improve their health, learn new skills, and face life's challenges head-on? The answer is obvious. People who invest in themselves radiate a unique energy. They inspire others to do the same. Here's how you can apply this strategy. Learn something new. Read books, take courses, or pick up a hobby. It could be anything from learning a language to improving your fitness. Take care of your body and mind. Exercise, eat well, and prioritize your mental health. When you feel good about yourself, it shows. Set goals and pursue them. Whether it's advancing in your career, starting a passion project, or saving for an adventure, having goals gives your life purpose and direction. When you focus on your growth, you shift your energy inward rather than outward. You stop seeking validation and start creating a life you're proud of. The Stoics remind us that life is short and that we must make the most of our time. Becoming the best version of yourself isn't just about impressing others. It's about living fully and authentically. And the magnetic side effect? People will naturally be drawn to the light you radiate. 4. Practice resilience in adversity. Adversity is an unavoidable part of life, and how we respond to it can determine the course of our lives. In today's world, it can be easy to become overwhelmed by setbacks, failure, and challenges. But what if we saw adversity not as something to be feared but as an opportunity to grow? Resilience is the key to transforming challenges into stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. The Stoics were particularly focused on resilience. Seneca famously wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." What this means is that the hardships we face in life are not meant to break us, but to make us stronger, more capable, and more grounded in who we are. Every challenge, no matter how tough, is an opportunity to improve our mental fortitude. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or pretending that everything is fine. It's about acknowledging the difficulty, accepting it, and responding with a sense of purpose. When you face a setback, be it in your career, relationships, or personal goals, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Instead of wallowing in frustration, shift your focus toward the lesson. For example, if you fail at a business venture, rather than seeing it as a loss, view it as a valuable learning experience that can guide your next move. People who practice resilience show that they're not afraid of failure, but instead, embrace it as part of the journey. To cultivate resilience, practice these strategies. Mindset shift. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What's the lesson here?" Develop a support system. Surround yourself with people who help you keep perspective and encourage your growth. Focus on action. Take small, intentional steps to move forward, no matter how overwhelming the situation may seem. When you practice resilience, you become the kind of person others admire, not for your perfection, but for your ability to rise every time you fall. Resilience makes you magnetic because it shows that you have strength and the ability to navigate through life's inevitable storms with grace. 5. Let go of what you can't control. So much of our suffering comes from trying to control things that are beyond our reach. We obsess over what others think of us, what the future holds, and how circumstances unfold. But the reality is, there are so many things in life that are simply out of our control. The Stoics emphasize this concept repeatedly, with Marcus Aurelius writing, "Don't waste time on what you cannot control." When we focus on things outside of our control, we waste energy and cause unnecessary stress. This is one of the most liberating realizations you can have, accepting that some things are simply not yours to control. Once you acknowledge this, you can free yourself from the frustration of trying to manipulate every outcome and instead focus on what you can influence: your actions, your thoughts, and your decisions. This strategy is particularly powerful in relationships. We cannot control how others behave, but we can control how we respond. For instance, if someone is rude or dismissive, you can choose to remain calm and composed rather than reacting with anger. By letting go of the need to control others, you gain emotional freedom and become more centered in your own behavior. Here's how to apply this concept. Identify what you can control: your attitude, your actions, your health, and your response to challenges. Release the need for approval. Stop seeking validation from others and instead focus on being proud of your own actions and choices. Accept imperfection. Recognize that no matter how much effort you put in, things may not always turn out as planned, and that's okay. The key is how you react to the situation. When you let go of what you can't control, you free yourself from unnecessary stress. This emotional freedom makes you more present, more authentic, and ultimately more attractive to those around you. You no longer need to manipulate or force things to happen. Instead, you accept and work with what is. 6. Develop the power of patience. In a world that thrives on instant gratification, patience can seem like a lost art. Yet, the ability to be patient, especially when faced with delays, frustration, or uncertainty, is an incredibly powerful quality. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." The ability to wait calmly and wisely for what we want in life reflects a strong sense of self-mastery. Patience doesn't mean passivity. It means acting with purpose and understanding that everything unfolds in its own time. The world doesn't revolve around our personal timelines. Things take time, whether it's building a career, creating meaningful relationships, or achieving personal goals. When we are patient, we give ourselves the space to learn, grow, and improve without the pressure of rushing toward an arbitrary end. For example, if you are working on a creative project, don't rush the process just to see quick results. Instead, enjoy the journey, embrace the challenges, and trust that your efforts will pay off when the time is right. Patience helps you make more thoughtful decisions, allowing for better outcomes in the long run. To develop patience, you can set realistic expectations. Recognize that most worthwhile achievements take time and effort. Practice mindfulness. Be present in the moment rather than constantly anticipating the next step. Shift your mindset. When you feel impatient, pause and remind yourself that good things often take time. When you cultivate patience, you become someone who is steady, reliable, and wise. Patience also reflects inner strength and confidence. You understand that you don't need to rush or force things to happen. This quiet power is magnetic. People gravitate toward those who are calm and assured, knowing that they can trust in the process and the eventual outcome. 7. Practice self-discipline in every area of life. Self-discipline is one of the most powerful traits anyone can develop. It is the ability to control one's emotions, behaviors, and habits in the face of temptations and impulses, and stay focused on long-term goals. In a world full of distractions, cultivating self-discipline is more important than ever. The Stoics believed that self-discipline was essential for living a virtuous and meaningful life. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This reflects the idea that true freedom is not about having the ability to do whatever we want, but having the ability to control our desires, impulses, and actions. Self-discipline is not about denying yourself pleasure or enjoyment. Rather, it is about prioritizing what is truly important in the long run and resisting the short-term temptations that can derail your progress. Self-discipline is not something that comes naturally to most people. It takes practice, effort, and commitment. But over time, the rewards are immeasurable. When you develop self-discipline, you become more focused, more productive, and more capable of achieving your goals. Moreover, you gain a sense of control over your life and your actions, which gives you confidence and stability. Here's how you can practice self-discipline in different areas of your life. Set clear goals. One of the most important steps in practicing self-discipline is knowing what you are working towards. Without clear goals, it becomes easy to get distracted. Whether your goals are related to your career, personal growth, health, or relationships, make sure they are specific, measurable, and time-bound. Create consistent habits. Discipline is not about making one-time efforts, but about forming habits that contribute to your long-term success. Small daily actions, when practiced consistently, add up to big results. If you want to improve your health, commit to exercising for 30 minutes every day. If you want to read more, set aside 15 minutes a day for reading. Over time, these habits will shape who you become. Resist instant gratification. One of the biggest challenges to self-discipline is the allure of instant gratification. Checking your phone, eating unhealthy foods, procrastinating on work, etc. The key to overcoming this is learning to delay gratification and focus on the long-term rewards. Every time you resist a temptation, you strengthen your self-discipline. Stay focused on your purpose. It's easy to get distracted by external events or other people's opinions. But when you know your purpose and stay aligned with it, it becomes much easier to maintain self-discipline. Always remind yourself of why you're doing what you're doing, and let that purpose be your guide. Practice accountability. Having someone to hold you accountable can help you stay on track. This could be a mentor, a friend, or even a coach. Share your goals with them and ask for their support in holding you to your commitments. Sometimes, knowing that someone is watching can motivate you to stay disciplined. By practicing self-discipline, you are investing in your future success and well-being. It empowers you to make the right choices, even when it's difficult, and to stay committed to the path that will lead to your growth. People who practice self-discipline are often seen as reliable, capable, and determined, qualities that are incredibly attractive to others. Self-discipline isn't just about restricting yourself. It's about freeing yourself from the distractions and habits that limit your potential. It's a sign of strength and character, and it can help you achieve great things in every area of your life. 8. Create small, genuine surprises. Have you ever stopped to think about what truly makes someone fall for another person? Forget the grand gestures or scenes straight out of a romantic movie. Real magic lies in the little, spontaneous moments. Small surprises that leave a lasting impression. In a Stoic sense, this relates to living in the present and acting with genuine intent, without expecting anything in return. It could be as simple as a heartfelt message in the middle of the day. "Hey, I thought of you today." A warm smile at the right moment, a shared coffee at the spot where you first met, or a small gift that reflects something they mentioned in passing. These gestures speak volumes because they come from attentiveness. For example, imagine you're on a walk and notice a field of wildflowers. Picking one and giving it to that special someone can say more than a bouquet bought in haste. Why? Because it's spontaneous, thoughtful, and deeply personal. The Stoics teach us that life is not about perfection or grand outcomes, but about cherishing the here and now. So don't wait for the perfect moment to create a surprise. Whether it's a funny text after a long day or planning a simple outing based on something they said they'd like to try, these little acts can make someone feel seen, valued, and connected. It's not about what you do but how you make the other person feel, appreciated and understood. Remember, the best surprises are simple and authentic, because they come straight from the heart. 9. Share your passions and what makes you unique. When was the last time you shared something about yourself that made your eyes light up? People are naturally drawn to authenticity, and there's nothing more captivating than someone who is genuinely passionate about something, whether it's big or small. In a world where many try to impress by flaunting their achievements or pretending to be someone they're not, the Stoics remind us of the power of simplicity and honesty. Being yourself and sharing what genuinely drives you is far more impactful than any rehearsed act of perfection. Your passions are like windows to your soul. They reveal what excites you, what moves you, and what makes you unique. Maybe it's playing the guitar like Michael, learning philosophy, painting, cooking, or even something quirky like collecting stories or mastering obscure board games. These details matter because they show that you're real and not just putting on a performance. For example, instead of boasting about how perfect your life is, tell a story about how you discovered your passion. Why did it matter to you? What did you learn from it? Sharing these parts of yourself not only makes you more relatable but also creates a space where the other person feels comfortable sharing their own stories. The Stoic principle here is clear. Do not pretend to be someone you are not. Embrace your differences, your quirks, and your unique experiences. When you stop trying to fit into an idealized mold and simply share what makes you you, you allow for a genuine connection to flourish. And trust me, there's nothing more attractive than authenticity. 10. Be present and truly listen. The final and perhaps most powerful strategy is one of the simplest yet hardest to master. Be present and truly listen. In a world filled with distractions, giving someone your full attention is one of the greatest gifts you can offer. The Stoics teach us the value of focusing on the present moment and of truly understanding others. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "To listen well is as powerful a means of influence as to talk well." When you listen, not just to respond but to truly understand, you show that you care about what the other person thinks, feels, and values. Picture this. You're in a conversation with someone, and instead of just waiting for your turn to speak, you pause, reflect, and respond meaningfully. Maybe you nod, hold their gaze, or ask follow-up questions that dig deeper into what they're sharing. This doesn't just make you a great listener, it makes you a safe space. It makes the other person feel heard, valued, and appreciated. Listening also means being aware of nonverbal cues. Pay attention to their body language, tone, and expressions. Sometimes, the most meaningful things are communicated without words. The Stoics remind us that human connection thrives on understanding, patience, and empathy. Don't just listen to what someone says, listen to what they mean, to their emotions and their unspoken truths. When you create an environment where someone feels genuinely understood, you forge a bond that is deeper than words. In the end, being present isn't just about hearing someone, it's about letting them know they matter. As Carl Jung said, listening with the heart is the first step to truly loving someone. So put down your phone, clear your mind, and simply be there. That's where true connection begins. So, there you have it. 10 powerful strategies rooted in Stoicism to help you build more meaningful connections and unlock the potential for deeper, more authentic relationships. Remember, it's not about changing who you are, but about embracing your true self and practicing patience and self-awareness. As Sarah and Michael learned, real connections come when we stop trying to impress others and start being genuinely present. If you found these tips helpful and you're ready to start building those real, lasting relationships, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more insights like these. I'll be here with more strategies, tips, and stories that can help you transform your life, one connection at a time. See you in the next video.